Known as an illegitimate love child of Pee Wee Herman and Barbie, as well as the Showbiz Spitfire, Paige Turner is a staple of nightlife and cabaret performer throughout New York City and beyond. She's a two-time Glam Award winner and cast member of Shade, Queens of New York City. Paige trademarked the phrase slurp, and she'll be appearing at this year's Winter Rendezvous in Stovermont. Let's take a look at her demo reel.
Oh my God, how are you? I'm Paige Turner. Welcome to the show.
Because I'm blonde, I don't have to think. I talk like a baby and I never pay for drinks. I'm Paige Turner. Thanks for asking. All things considered, I couldn't be better, I must say. Didn't you know that I'm a good person? I'm your angel through and through. Doesn't it show that I'm a good person? So much better than you and you and you and you and you.
This will be my 5th time seeing this show. I followed her down to Mexico to see it, actually.
What's your name? Hey, come with me. Louise! I love it. I know you are. Teach me how to sit right here on the orange bark and matches your hair. Here we go. You know what to do. I can stretch and breathe while you're done. Oh my God, Louise is up. I'm so sorry. Daddy, you know that I'm so...
Amazing. Yeah, real, funny, hilarious. I loved it.
Spending an evening with Paige Turner is like spending an evening with Barbie. This tawdry blonde bombshell always makes her audience feel like the guest star.
Oh my God, you guys. Howdy! It's a magic mirror. Do you know why it's magic? Because when you look into it, you look just like me.
Poor little Elizabeth is not poor little Elizabeth. Here, Rosie, a peace offering, a koosh ball. Thank you. I do not cherry pick, okay?
When I give them my regards, I'm falling, baby, through the sky. Through the sky, I'm falling, baby, through the sky. It's my calling, baby, don't you cry. Don't you cry, I'm falling down through the sky.
This is the 3rd time we have seen this show, and we can't get enough. Paige is hysterical.
Sir, I believe that Oprah is really Jesus. I believe Bill Cosby's still guilty and O.J. Simpson too. Sing with me, please.
Oh, Paige Turner, come on in.
Hi.
Okay. You trademarked the word slurp. Do I have to pay you anything for saying that?
No, you just have to say it a lot.
And I do. And
Yes.
Paige, thank you so much for talking to us tonight. We've got a lot to talk about.
Thank you.
In Stovermont, in just coming up in January for Winter Rendezvous. But my gosh, how long have you been performing?
I'm just going into my 14th year full time. Isn't that crazy?
Full time, but what did you do before that?
Musical theater and performing. Yeah, obviously. And I use all that every time I step on stage as Paige. So musical theater, pretty good career. I'm really happy with the stuff I did with that. But this was just like, I say like I'm all the characters in Gypsy. So I'm Mama Rose because it's always about the show. I look like Dainty June, but Louise, that was the gimmick that got her noticed. And drag was like the gimmick that definitely got me noticed and, got people to be like, oh,
What made you transition from a musical theater person into drag?
Gosh, Amber, I worked a lot. I was very fortunate. I was like the boy next door, the sexless boy next door in every show you can imagine. And I just was so sick of auditioning. Like, I would be up for really huge things and not get them. And I was like, you know what? I just want to perform. I just want to make people laugh. And I was like, I don't want to audition. Like, I don't want to audition. And then you get some big show, and then maybe it's a success or it closes, or you get a show and then they replace you when it goes to Broadway or this or that. I'm like, I've just been through it all and I have really nice credits and amazing experience. And there wasn't like necessarily I needed to stop. I was getting older, but still looked really young. And I would get, oh, like they look younger, but we know they're older. So it doesn't come off as like the oh shucks anymore. So I was just like, oh, and then I did drag and it just was like, I felt like Hannah Montana, like if you know that reference, rock star, and people would just go crazy. And I'm like, okay, I can take like everything like I've done and in the past with theater and just put it all into Paige. And here we are, 14 years is crazy.
So back to musical theater. What were some of the roles that you had, and in what productions and in what theaters?
Yeah, gosh, I did. Well, I don't want to tell you the date, but I just did. I did the Broadway tour of Footloose, which was 2 years on tour, and then a lot of the people in that show are really famous now that I did the show with. I'm like, they're famous, and I'm Paige Turner.
Oh, you're famous.
And fame-ish, thank you. But it's so funny, I didn't think I'd ever want to hear the song Footloose again, and then this 80s show that we're going to talk about, I actually open with Footloose, a parody, but I open with Footloose. So it's just like, it's kind of amazing, like all the stuff. It just goes back to like, I love playing dress up when I was little and stuff, and all that goes back into it. But to answer your question more, I did Into the Woods everywhere. I played Jack in Into the Woods all over the place. I did Parade with Hal Prince and Jason Robert Brown originally. Killed the lead character at the end of the show. It just got revived on Broadway, which makes me feel so old that it was revived. Yeah, so I did some really nice things and played some dream roles actually that I wanted to play, but I wasn't going to be like the romantic leading man kissing a woman on stage, and and I was getting older, and I still, had the Bernadette Peters youth to me and all that. But I was just like, so it just transitioned into complete like sexless boy next door to oversexed girl next door as Paige Turner.
What was Paige Turner your first drag name?
It was, and it's the number one question people ask me, and I love it because it comes from theater. When people didn't use like an iPad or screen to play the piano, but actual sheet music, the piano player at theater school, the pages were falling. And usually they were in a binder, but he just had like Xerox sheets. And he's like, quick, I need a page turner because the pages were falling on the floor. And I was like, I'll be your page turner. And he was like, thank you, Paige Turner. I was like, you're welcome. And I was like, ooh, that should be my drag name someday. So I love that it's theater roots,
So tell us more about the transition from musical theater into drag. What were some of your first gigs and jobs doing that?
God, that's great. I was very scared because I thought, like, if I do this, 14 years ago, you got to think, it sounds so silly now, but like, it was like RuPaul was still kind of starting. And, guys did not want to date a drag queen. There was like internalized homophobia, or definitely that meant that you have transgender things you're trying to figure out and stuff. And so people like saw it as a negative way. And I was really kind of always thrown by that. And I'm like, well, how can I take all this that I like and just put it out there and hopefully attract who will like it? And through that, it's kind of funny. It really has, not funny, but ironic funny, really like made me love myself more and express my queerness in a way that I didn't always get to do on stage. Because you wait for a role or, be great to play some gay role that really covers it all. Or, back then, I say back then because it is 14 years now, we weren't even casting gay people to play gay roles as much as now. We were just kind of starting it and stuff. So I hit it at the right time, for me. I had dabbled in it. I had definitely done some shows where I did drag in it, actually, a play and a musical. And I always was like, ooh, every time. But then I'd be like, no. And I'd push away from it. But drag kept like finding me. I'm like, no, I'd be like slamming the door and there'd be like a person and I'm like, go away. It kept trying to come back for me. And finally it got me. I say I'm an entertainer that does a drag character or drag personality. I think drag just means something different to everybody. So, and I think a lot of people have opinions about it or a lot of people don't know what it's about. So I always say to people, If you like drag, you should come see me. If you don't like drag, you definitely should come see me.
Tell me about your early act. What did you do in those first couple of years as Paige Turner?
You know, well, it's so funny. Yeah, I love these questions. Thanks. I didn't. I've always kind of had the same style. It's today I'm dressed a little like 80s, but I always was like very like I liked feeling like girly and princessy. So my look was always the same. It was very like I was very inspired by Julie Brown from the 80s. There were two of them. It's Julie Brown, the Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun, because I'm a blonde. And I sing a song from hers in the 80s show. Actually, she was like a muse for me because I just thought she did dumb in such a smart way. So I always I sang it last night. I haven't sung it in months because I'm a blonde. I sang at a show last night. I love that stupid stuff where you're like, it's stupid, but just go with it. Like we're in on that. So I've always kind of been with that. The sexual and the shopping aspect of me talking about shopping and being like the homecoming queen, that's always been since day one. But I'll tell you what I didn't do so much is I was somehow scared to sing in drag, even though I'm a singer. And now, the whole summer in P-Town, I lip sync still too, but like these live shows that are ticketed, they're all live singing and parodies and some original songs in this show that were written for me. And I don't know why it seems so weird because I'm so fearless. And now it's just like, well, yeah, of course I sing, but it took me a while. And also when I first started, I was like changing all the time, changing wigs and stuff. And I just looked awful. I'm like, why are you changing so much? Like just stay in a look and change outfits if there's a guest star or you're guest starring, but you don't need to like be changing wigs. And that became a really big thing, that hair and hairstyle, and I have different styles of blonde and stuff, but I always tell younger queens, stick with a hairstyle for a while because you have to get to know who you are. If you're like, I have a short black wig and then I'm in blonde and then I'm in red, you're like, I don't know who that is. You have to like brand yourself. And when I first started, I did red hair for just like a year. And I do it for fun every now and then. Like I did it once at Christmas. And I'm Irish, so like the red goes well. But I just decided it wasn't who I was as the character. It was the redhead as the friend that doesn't get laid. It's like Barbie's friend, Midge or whatever.
Yeah, you have to create an identity so people know who you are, and know what to expect. Very good.
Yeah.
All right, we have more to talk with Paige Turner, but we'll be right back. All right, we're back with Paige Turner. And Paige, you're coming to Winter Rendezvous for the first time. Are you excited? What do you expect to see at Winter Rendezvous?
I love a first time, Amber. Yeah. And a second time. Gosh, I am excited. Well, I love that I get to perform at so many different places. So that's like one of the great things now in this stage of my drag career. So the last place I did the show was Palm Springs, which is just crazy, opposite ends of the earth. It was outside. It was beautiful. I did Pride there. Pride's in November. And then I stopped to do the Christmas show. So now I'm picking back up with this tour again. And I'm excited. I love, it's going to be at the Town Hall Theater. I love, these theaters, these, lovely little theaters, because it brings me back to my musical theater days. It feels like vaudeville. I call it the fallopian circuit, the bus and tuck tour. So I'm very excited to bring the show. It'll be my 53rd performance of Drag Me to the 80s. Oh, and it's I'm a little 80s decked out. It'll be even bigger when you see it as far as hair and everything. I just love celebrating. It's my favorite decade. Well, there's many things about it that aren't great, but I kind of am like, we're the 80s better than, the 2020s, and we're going to answer that in the show. And it's like being trapped in a music video the whole time.
Well, I just love Winter Rendezvous. We've been going there for 15, 12 years as hostesses and event coordinators. And I just want to thank Michael Wilson for bringing talent such as yours to Vermont. I mean, you, Jackie Beat, Miss Richfield, Varla Jean, Dina Martina, and Well Strung, all these acts that we normally don't see in Vermont. We have to go to Montreal or Boston or New York to see, but now we can see acts such as yours in Stowe. So thank you very much, Michael Wilson, for bringing acts.
Thanks, Michael. Really thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
No, it's a Dixie Longate's another one that we saw there.
Oh, I love it. You're mentioning all these people I adore. Yeah.
And it's great, and I've got to know and
Great.
interview them, and no, it's really a nice thing. You'll like
So
the theater. It's
fun.
very intimate, and the guys are ready to laugh, and they're ready for a good time. So
It's like everyone's like, "Oh, you ski?" When I say I'm going, I'm like, "No, I'll be drinking hot chocolate and taking pictures of you skiing."
oh yeah, no. I rent fake casts for your leg if you want to sit in a lodge and
Oh,
just
oh
pretend.
my gosh. You have one? That's funny.
For
That's
you, I
really
would
funny.
make one. For you, I
Oh
would
my
make
God.
one.
I'm sure it's on Amazon somewhere. Yeah.
Yes, it is. So you're doing that show, the '80s show. Is that what you're doing in P Town this summer?
No, so that's I write a new show every year. It starts in P-Town and then it tours after P-Town. So I do like 3.5 months in P-Town, and then I start touring with it. And this last place was Palm Springs. I'll stop for the Christmas. So I'll pick it back up with you again. And then we have bookings, some bookings, and then more bookings coming with the 80 show. But I have to stop by May 1st because I have to write the new show, which is already all in my head. I've already started. It's filled with costumes right now for the next show. So I'm always planning ahead because I have to do that photo shoot. I'm going to get the tickets on sale by Valentine's Day for the new show coming next summer. And so that's a lot. So last year I was like, still doing the show from the previous year and then writing this show and doing a wedding and doing, a baby shower, can you believe? And like all these things, I was like, oh my God, I cannot do this. And then I had personal good stuff going on, like graduation and then another wedding. I was like, I cannot do this in my head. My brain can't handle this. So I'm definitely like putting a stop to it. So I have really a good 3 weeks just of rehearsal. The show's built, but I can just work on it and really have it in my body because
What's
that's
your
the best
process?
feeling.
What's your process of developing a new show?
Yeah, you're just asking all of my favorite questions. I vision board it first. So, like when you scrapbook as a kid, maybe, and you pasted things. It's so great nowadays with Pinterest and stuff. So if I get an idea, so you can imagine there's probably like 4 pages for the 80s show. I mean, I seriously could do a 3-hour show if the audience and my voice could handle it, I would. But because there's so much material, for the 80s, there's so many things you have to cut out. I'm like, okay, I won't do this. I'll just focus on that. But I get a lot in. So I start seeing like what songs in my head I want to do. Do I already do a song that 80s? Do I lip sync to a song that now I'm going to sing it live because this is a live show? Can I parody that song? And you start getting that in your head. I do the songs first, which other people would find this to be very hard. Then I tell the story from the songs because the songs for me always tell the story. And I don't like doing a song unless it tells a story. Even if it's just personal for me, it somehow has to move it along. And there's throwaway ones.
That's your theater background.
Yeah.
The music
Yeah.
progresses the plot. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's the theater thing. So it has to make sense. So I'm like, oh, this song's really fun, but it doesn't. So I was going to open with a song instead of Footloose, Video Killed the Radio Star, because it was the first song ever on MTV. And I love it, but I'm like, oh, wait, I don't know if this is it is well known enough, but everyone knows Footloose and it's such a upbeat. So now I've taken a mix at the end and it opens the mix and it's a parody of Video Killed the Radio, but it's not the full song because I don't know that we want the full song of Video Killed the Radio Star. It's just repetitive and doesn't go anywhere. But I've just parodied it for just 45 seconds of this parody mix I do at the end of the show. So I'm like, there we go. I still got it in, but that changed up until like a week and a half before. I changed the opening number and I knew it. I knew this would be better. And there was a payoff. The Footloose song was.
Can you tell us what the theme of your new show is?
I will say that it is the 80s is a very good selling show. Whenever I've done this as a show, I have done it in big scale before with a cast of 10. It is the highest selling show because everyone is into this theme. And it's a big anniversary this year for this theme without saying what it is. You're going to figure it out when we click off.
You'll be at the post office again?
And I'll be at the post office. Yeah. And yeah, this theme is actually not my favorite theme, but that's going to be the angle for the story. That I'm not really into this and everyone else is, but maybe towards the end I'm a believer. Does that make sense? That's my story arc.
Very good. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited to tell you when it does. Yeah.
Will your husband be joining you here in Vermont?
Oh my God, now people will know I'm not single. Yes, he will. And he doesn't, no, I'm kidding. He doesn't always go to everything because he has a life and he's an actor and works and stuff. But this one, yeah, he's going. He's excited. We're very excited. The inns are so beautiful and the places are, gosh, I mean, I'm really excited to, like, dare I say, a little vacation as well.
Oh, definitely. So tell us more about your husband. You said he's an actor. What does he do? Mark Cody. What does he do?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Matt W. Cody, if you want to look him up. Oh, he's amazing. He just did Clue, the play Clue, and played Professor Plum. And we both this year, within 2 weeks of each other this year, it's 2024. Oh my God. We both booked Law and Order within 2 weeks of each other as a guest star. So he did Law and Order SVU and I did Law and Order, the original one. There's like 3 of them. And yeah, it was funny. He played like the straight Canadian guy who was in New York preying on women. And I played a drag queen who was being accused of murdering this politician who hosts Drag Queen Story Hour.
Oh, how cool.
That fun?
When will that air?
It did. It's on this previous season. It's re-aired too because the strike gets re-aired a lot, so that's good for me. It airs all the time. But it's on. You can watch it on Peacock. It's like the third to last episode of last season, so it's the most current season that pops up, and it's called Private Lives. Okay. Well, and I'm in and out of drag in the episode.
Oh, I can't. Oh, no. Peacock tonight. I will.
Yeah, it's actually a really good episode. It really touches on, that show's been running for so many years. And let me just say what an amazing experience it was from start to finish professionally, because it's just been doing it for 19 years, that's particular one, the original one. And yeah, they're just so up on the current events. And they were so great on set, like, what do I want to be called? And gender, and I don't want to give too much away about other people in the episode, but just really they were so great. And it's union and stuff they're supposed to be, but I just felt like there was an extra added, like, taking care of me, which was really nice. You don't always get that, so it was like a really positive experience.
Well, that's great to hear. Paige, thank you so much for talking to us. Can't wait to meet you in person in Stowe. We'll have lunch. We'll have
yes. Oh my God.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Can't wait to see you. Thank you.
Thanks, Amber LeMay. Happy New Year. I'll see you soon.
Yes.